These are the rules. No pushing, no running in terror, no hanging about, and above all, no escape. Terror on Church Street, beyond the limits of fear.
Well, since it is Friday the 13th today, it only seems right for this video to look at a haunted attraction. While ghost or haunted houses have existed for many years in the tourism industry, one stands out as an inspiration for pushing the whole industry forward in a new direction, and it was located on Church Street in Orlando, Florida. Now, as you walk around near the Amway Center, you may not realize the history that existed nearby. Church Street Station was built in 1889 for the South Florida Railroad, which ran from Sanford to Tampa. Year after year, the station got added to more and more railroads and eventually reaching as far as Virginia. In 1926 though, the station's passenger operations were moved to Orlando's Amtrak station. The old station sat latent until July 1972 when Bob Snow came with the idea to reinvigorate the area. He had successfully completed a similar project in downtown Pensacola, and he transformed the area around the station into the Church Street district. In its prime, it was Florida's fourth largest tourist attraction. Adults visiting the theme parks and tourist attractions came to enjoy a night out at its most popular bar, Rose O'Grady's Goodnight Emporium, among many other bars and pubs in the area. In 1985, 1.7 million visitors would come to see the old Orlando Railroad area. The success of the area wouldn't last though, as Disney and Universal had plans to open adult bars and clubs for themselves. With Disney's opening of Pleasure Island in 1989, as well as City Walk later in 1999, the area began to lose popularity. One attraction in particular though, opened during the 90s, would remain popular. Located at 135 South Orange Avenue was Terror on Church Street. Opening the same year as Universal's Fright Nights, now Halloween Horror Nights, on November 8th, 1991. The haunted year-round attraction featured multiple floors of horror for its guests, and it took it to a new level with extreme detail. Inspired by the Passage del Terror, an interactive walkthrough horror attraction that still operates today around the world, visitors would enter in groups of 8 and exits existed throughout for the faint of heart. The attraction's tagline was "Beyond Terror, beyond the limits of fear, there is terror on Church Street," and the attraction spared no expense in creating an experience that had never existed before. It was among the first haunts to use lighting, fog, temperature, sound, and other sensory experience to fully immerse visitors. The goal was simple: to put audiences inside horror films and casting them as the victims. This model has since become the industry standard.
Ladies and gentlemen, join us for Terror on Church Street!
The size and scope of the attraction was also impressive, with 23 different sets, and the size of the cast was unlike any other haunted attraction that existed. The full experience took around 20 minutes to go through. The other aspects that made it stand out were the cast.
Welcome to Terror on Church Street, North America's premier haunted attraction. You've never seen fear like we have here.
Normally, haunted attractions were staffed by volunteers or teens, but Terror on Church Street wasn't just a haunted attraction, it was a theatrical production.
We are the Eternal Dwellers.
The cast was known as the Eternal Dwellers Theatre Company and was directed by the amazing David Clevinger, along with Jack Nieberline and Kerry Roundtree. Alan Ostrander, who now designs and creates makeup for TV and film, was the head makeup artist and character designer. Alan created a new age of special effects and designs for the cast of the attraction and used the best quality makeup to achieve it. Alan has actually gone on to create designs for other theme parks and attractions around the world, and is the owner of AEO Studios in Orlando. Besides his work in helping to create Terror on Church Street, he is most known as Hong Kong's father of Halloween for his 13 years working with Ocean Park to develop the Halloween holiday out there. The sets themselves were movie quality and not the plastic or plywood backgrounds the industry was known for. Each individual set was packed full of props and items that enhanced the theme of the room and increased the horror, and the fog and lighting effects were made to match. Not only did Terror on Church Street change the physical aspects of a haunt attraction, before the attraction, haunt marketing didn't really even exist. Anthony Perkins actually became the celebrity spokesman, and it was a natural fit as Perkins had attended the nearby Rollins College, and had recently filmed Psycho 4: The Beginning at Universal Orlando. The marketing worked and drew in visitors from around the world to the 364 days a year attraction. The attraction even had a website during the 90s. Scenes inside the attraction included a demonic girl tied to the bed, hooded monks, a chainsaw maniac, and many other sinister characters. Your journey began in an old English courtyard, where you were given the rules, asked to hold on to each other, and sent on your way. Ushered into a dark candlelit altar room, you were greeted by the head of the Eternal Dwellers, and informed that you were now in their world, and you would be lucky just to survive. From there, the guests were on their own to find their way through zombie-filled graveyards, an underground vampire lair, Freddy's boiler room, and many more theatrical sets. Being a multi-themed attraction, each room transported guests to another place and time, from a body bag-filled morgue to the toxic waste facility, and a psycho mother careening down the stairs in a wheelchair. The attraction was probably the most frightening because it didn't rely on blood and gore, but rather totally immersed the guests in each environment and made the dangers feel very personal and very real. The attraction could not have asked to have been located in a better place than the iconic Woolworth building. The location itself had had numerous reports of real-life ghost activity, with guests reporting seeing children inside the attraction, even though they were not permitted inside, and reports of an eerie man dubbed the Yellow Man that became part of the attraction's lore. Whether these rumours were real or not added a sense of mystery to the attraction and an extra level of atmosphere that would be hard to replicate elsewhere. Unfortunately, the attraction closed in May 1999, even though they had just signed on for a 5-year lease the year before. Reasons stated were the high rent, high operating costs, and the decrease in number of downtown visitors. The name and some of the props and sets were moved to a new location in the Church Street Exchange, but the success did not move with it. Pleasure Island and City Walk had taken the tourist trade and downtown Orlando was suffering. Terror 2 closed quietly, but the legend of Terror of Church Street lives on. The original building was torn down in 2003, making way for a downtown high-rise. The attraction had a huge impact on the haunt scene to this day, and its ideas and standards carried over not only to independent haunts, but the mainstream park events we still know and enjoy today. Many attempts have been made in the Orlando area to open another permanent year-round haunt experience, even by some of the people involved in the original Terror of Church Street, but the success cannot seem to be replicated. Terror on Church Street was the premier haunted attraction in the country and is missed by many still today. The attraction went on to inspire the next generation of haunted attractions around the world, including the evolution of Halloween Horror Nights.
Hello, kids. It's Halloween season again, and this is your old friend Deadbeat, together with Roach and Gordon. It's time once again for Terror Tips.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe to join us on our future expeditions. Let us know if you visited this attraction, and be sure to share your memories and stories with us in the comments below. Thank you so much to Alan Ostrander for helping out with this video, and if you would like to check out some of his other work, please check the description for a link to AEO's website. We will see you next time.